Michigan closed well. They picked up one of the top players in the country late. That was a bit of a surprise, plucking him out of Alabama. I believe we've got Tanner Wooten on the line from Maize n Brew. Tanner?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan, as far as their finish goes, probably the best outcome they could have hoped for, with Solomon committing the 5-star defensive tackle about 3 hours south of Atlanta in Georgia, in Leesburg. So really deep south. Like I said, big-time commitment for Michigan. They have a lot of question marks on the interior defensive line, and he kind of fills some of those needs. And, you pair him with Rashawn Gary, #1 player last year, and that's a scary sight for opposing offenses to play Michigan. And then they also closed on Nico Collins, the wide receiver out of Pinson, Alabama, top 150 player. Seemed to be trending to Georgia, but lately the crystal balls really started to flood in with predictions for Michigan, and they were able to close on him. He lost his 2 primary recruiters when Jed Fish took the offensive coordinator position at UCLA, and Tyrone Wheatley left for the NFL to coach running backs with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Jim Harbaugh really took the recruitment over. And then Pep Hamilton, the new co-offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, and assistant head coach, really did a good job of closing that recruitment down. It sounded like he was Michigan, all the way through from June, July, when he made a couple visits. I believe he visited unofficially 4 times to Ann Arbor. So as far as them being able to close that down, that gave them 5 wide receiver commitments, all 4 stars. The big fish, Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Cass Tech in Detroit, #1 wide receiver in the country, according to the 24/7 composite. He's one of 2 5-stars in the class along with Solomon. And then you have Tariq Black, who committed in December from Cheshire Academy in Connecticut. Oliver Martin out of Iowa City West, #1 player in the state of Iowa. And then you also have Brad Hawkins, who was committed last year with the prep school route and now is back in the 2017 class, signed and ready to go for the summer. And as far as this class, I mean, just the outreach that they had as far as across the country. I mean, they had the #1 players in the state of Michigan, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Iowa, Quebec, and New Mexico. So, I mean, it's a national reaching class.
Yeah, Tanner, every recruiting class is extremely important, but considering what you lost in your senior class from this outstanding 2016 team, not that these guys are generally going to fill in as impact players, but they provide depth, provide special teams help, and we're talking a class of 30, so it's a large class, and the quality's off the charts as well. So just what Michigan's been able to do under Jim Harbaugh, and just to see him out there operating and working his magic, just has to be exciting. Of course, you want to see it play out on the field, and you've had 2 outstanding 10-10 win seasons back-to-back, but of course you're wanting a Big Ten championship. But you can see it coming with what you've seen produced on the field, and these recruiting classes have been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of depth and quality talent that's being brought into the program is really impressive. From 2014 to 2016, so those 3 recruiting classes, there was only 29 4-star and 5-star recruits that came to Ann Arbor, and in this class alone, there's 21. Over 66% of the recruiting class is 4 and 5 stars, so it's loaded up front. I don't think it has the star power necessarily of last year. Obviously, they had the #1 player, Rashawn Gary, but I do think this class is a little bit deeper, around the same size. Nationally, as far as the rankings go, it's pretty much similar. They're 5th this year on 24/7, I believe. They're able to hold off LSU after they did not get Marvin Wilson. But this class is just really full of really good athletes. Obviously, the quarterback, Christian McCaffrey's little brother, Dylan, out of Valor Christian, Colorado. Just great bloodlines there. High upside, and a guy that could be starting for Michigan down the road at quarterback. And they've got a bunch of guys who are top 5 at their position as well. I mean, Peoples-Jones, the 5-star to Detroit that I mentioned before. Cesar Ruiz, #1 center in the country. Aubrey Solomon, again, #2 defensive tackle in the country. Luigi Villan, #5 weak side defensive end in the country. And then McCaffrey is the #5 pro style. So there is a lot of talent, and it's deep, and it's I think with this class they pushed their 4 and 5 stars. I think over half the roster now are former 4 and 5-star recruits.
Tanner Wooten, the latest in a long line of contributors from Maize and Brew that we welcomed on and have done a tremendous job for us. Josh Hensky, Anthony Broom, and now you, Tanner. So we appreciate you coming on for the first time, and it was a bit of a fire drill, so we apologize for that. But we'll have you on for some more segments. But we're just trying to go rapid fire and get as many people in and out as possible. So Tanner, we appreciate you running down the Michigan class for us.
Anytime, Mark. I'll be on anytime you want. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, we know what a splash he has made in Ann Arbor, doing something just about every week that has people shaking their heads or busting a gut, one or the other. But when it comes to recruiting, he's getting the job done, bottom line.